This circuit means a lot for us, especially for the Japanese driver. It has a long tradition and it has been here for more than 50 years, so long time before I was born. And it's almost like I started my Formula race career, or like the race career here when I was 18, so I've been racing here many years. For the endurance race, it's a classic place. They have been holding WEC races before, like in 80s and maybe 90s. Well, Japanese fans are very passionate. Maybe they are a bit more shy compared to some other country, but they have a strong passion. This track means for me, first it's home and comfort, then third one Fuji.
From the heat of Austin, the temperature has dropped dramatically for the 4.5-kilometre track walk here at Fuji. It's a circuit with a combination of everything and challenges for all the classes. High-speed corners, that long straight which is over 1 kilometre in distance, and of course that means there's going to be a lot of action going into the first corner. But one thing I really do like about the WEC drivers is their dedication for the preparation into the race. So you've made it to Tokyo earlier to acclimatise?
Exactly, acclimatise. It was only to get into the rhythm here, and we had some fun with Andre Lotterer, with these guys living here, and it was a good time. It's always good to be back here.
Yeah, copy myself. Radio check loud and clear. So there is.
First look at turn one, what stands out to you?
It's quite narrow, downhill. I think the middle of the corner is quite a bit of understeer. But it's a quite fairly easy corner, looks like. You have to brake late and be early on the throttle.
After that long straight?
Yeah, you have a long straight to relax a bit, which is quite good. But after that, it's a lot of corners in a row, and I think it's not an easy track.
In some corners the GT cars are not much slower than us, so you also have to decide again how much risk you take. So this is again a nice factor for this race.
Bruno, what are you taking a look at?
We're taking a look at last year's video on board from the car. It's
It's a tricky one, this part of the track. This starts like a very technical section, and knowing where to cut and not cut makes a big difference. The track is, as you can see, very rough here, and the tires really don't like it. So it'll be interesting to see how the car behaves tomorrow.
It's a sector where you can't really push too much. It's more a sector about concentrate on exits, and that's where most of the lap time comes from. So we'll see. Tomorrow we'll find out, but looking forward to it and good to be back.
It's very tight. I think it's multiple class racing is the first thing that's on your mind, how you're going to coexist with the quicker cars. And after that, it's ascending. So slow in, fast out is the name of the game. When you're climbing, you really need that momentum. So it's thinking ahead and preparing for the next few corners.
Thanks, Pat.
All the three manufacturers, they have a possibility to win each of the next races. So for sure you need to have a zero mistake job, and then you can win the race.
For the Japanese, endurance is an attribute that is revered in life as well as in racing. And the centre of the endurance racing world this weekend is Fuji International Speedway. Round 7 of the FIA World Endurance Championship, and not one but 2 autograph sessions, because the stars and cars of the series are that popular with the fans here in Japan. It's race day morning, the sun is shining and the atmosphere is building nicely.
Spectator here in Japan, it's great always, when I come back here, how they're supporting motorsport and driver as well. They're supporting everybody. This is how the driver get excited being here. It's the atmosphere is most important for the driver and the motorsports as well.
Kamui Kobayashi, one of the huge stars of today's manufacturer squads, but we found out this weekend the 3 drivers who will take the rookie test in Bahrain with Porsche, Toyota and Audi. Pipo Derani, Gustavo Menezes, and making his debut in the series, Antonio Giovinazzi. The Brazilian, American and Italian drivers will all get an extended test in LMP1 cars at the end of the season. We've become accustomed to the enthusiasm of the Japanese endurance fans. It's a family festival atmosphere in the paddock and along pit lane. This week we found out that one of the WEC family will be calling time on his superb career. Mark Webber will be walking away from motorsport at the end of this season.
I've had a great career. I've really enjoyed the people I've worked with. It's been a privilege, been an honour to have been associated with so many great people and brands, and still am. It's hard to do this job half pregnant, especially with your teammates and with testing and all the things that go on behind the scenes. It's not fair for me to keep peeling away my energy levels in that sense. So made the difficult but also very straightforward call in, I have to do it like that because it's the only way I operate. You have to do it properly or not at all. And yeah, it's gone very well, and time goes quick, really quick. And my parents are not getting any younger. The people that obviously I love being with, and all of our personal lives move along. So you've got to take all that into account, and looking forward to the break.
But no break or rest for Mark quite yet, because for him and the rest of our drivers this weekend, the next 6 hours is all about speed. crowd has turned out at Fuji Speedway again. We've seen in the past that even with bad weather, they've come to support this event, but there's no worries on that front this weekend. Sunshine and a fantastic atmosphere. But as the green flag approaches, it's time to think about the race and focus on competition. Last year's winners were the eventual world champions, and they bring back the trophy to the head of the grid. Will they be carrying it away again at the end of the 6 hours? In pole in GTE AM, the 98 Aston Martin, Paul Dallalana having to go out right at the end of qualifying to take that position. Ford have locked out the front row in GTE Pro. The 66 car on pole position for Stefan Mucker and Olivier Pla.
We were looking for that since some race now, and we could put everything together yesterday, so it was great. Since the beginning of the weekend, the car is working really well, and so now we hope to turn it into a victory.
Incredibly close qualifying in LMP2 has G-Drive and the 26 car on pole position. It was even tighter in LMP1, as Louise Beckett reports.
It's a beautiful day here in Fuji, which is unusual for us because we usually have rain at this event. The crowds, as you can see, are as enthusiastic as ever. And qualifying yesterday was so close between the top three. In fact, the closest it's ever been. So is that an indication of how the race is going to go? We'll soon find out.
Toyota were incredibly aggressive in qualifying. 2 sets of tyres used by both of their TSO 50s. Is this the race where Toyota's luck turns around?
Qualifying pace, we were a little bit surprised, so I hope it's going to be a good race for us, and our aim is clearly to win the race now, so just want to bring it back home safely.
That's one of the ones to win this year, huh?
Yeah, for sure, it's the biggest one after Le Mans, so yeah, excited.
Defending world champions, the number 1 Porsche on the outside of the front row. Pole position captured by the number 8 Audi. That's almost another home race for Loic Duval, who's been living just down the road for many years.
We show since Le Mans that we are competitive. We did all the pole positions since Le Mans, and for us, Lucas, myself, for Audi, being able to be on board here. For myself, I have a lot of fans, a lot of support here, and I know the track pretty well, so it's really positive. But the hardest is to come now. We have to go through those 6 hours and try to win it.
ご協力ありがとうございました。野々村彩乃さんによる国家斉唱でした。
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Get started formation lap for the 6 hours of Fuji. Green flag, start the first formation laps for the Fuji.
So will it be home advantage for Toyota? Plenty of support in the grandstands, which are filling nicely as the cars are on their formation lap. The 3 teams all represented at the front of the grid, and the top 6 separated well by nothing at all. Same story in LMP2 with G-Drive leading them off. Watch the number 30 car, new set of drivers for that this weekend. In GTE Pro, Ford with their best chance of a win since Le Mans, similar type of circuit, and perhaps a chance for Ford Chip Ganassi Team UK to get on the top step of the podium. Ollie Jarvis in the pole sitting Audi, furthest away from our camera. 6 hours on the clock. Watch the lights. They go out and we are racing down towards the first corner. Mark Webber pulls in behind the pole sitter. 2 Toyotas. Oh, here comes Trollier down the inside of the second of the Audis. Tries to get up into second place. Can't make it. Might do it now. Was there a little touch there between the Porsche and the first of the Toyotas, which is off the track? Oh my goodness, that was close. And a bit of a kerfuffle behind in the LMP2 ranks as well, as the championship leading blue Alpine went wide. Let's have a look at this from onboard Ben Trellier. That was very close indeed between the 2 cars ahead, and there was a touch, but it was between the Rebellion and the CLM, the 2 privateer cars. That was the Toyota off the track there going through turn 2. Well, let's take a breath as it settles down a little bit halfway around the first lap. The LMP2 certainly been shaken up there after that first corner incident. Toyota fighting back there and putting the number 2 Porsche back down to 6th position. Romain Dumas will not like that as Kaz Nakajima went through in that number 5 car. But the number 2 car championship leaders for the Drivers' Championship, of course, just not on the pace this weekend. Onto the more than 1 kilometre finish straight for the first time, coming to the end of our first racing lap. And there are the championship leaders in the drivers' standings. Now here's the GTE battle, the 2 Fords ahead. Oh, and there was a spin. It's the 35 Baxi DC Alpine that went around in the Dunlop curves that time around. Looks like one of the Manners was involved as well. That was just up ahead. G-Drive from Signatech at the front of the LMP2 field, and the other Manor in 3rd place, the red and white car. On board with Signatech Alpine for a moment. There's the 30 car now in its new colours. Now let's have a look at what happened a little earlier on. SMP versus ESM. Make sure you get the initials right. Oh, no touch there. The Russian car having to go off the track at turn 13. Mark Webber in the 1 in 2nd. Battle for 3rd. Kobayashi down the inside of Trellier. That was decisive. And Ben Trellier, well, was he caught napping a little bit there? Already into traffic. Kobayashi carving past the GTE cars now through this long right-hander at 100R. Now in LMP2, G-Drive back on form here with Will Stevens back in the driver's seat. This is a little bit further back though, as Philippe Albuquerque goes down the inside of Roberto Meri, the darker red car, making up a position there. And that is the new colour scheme for the 30 car ahead in 3rd position. ESM running 2 different colour schemes this weekend. In GTE AM, Ferrari versus Corvette here. Labra competition, haven't had the best of luck here in Japan over the years. And just lost the position there to the Ferrari. Down the inside as the 83 car in the classic overtaking manoeuvre at turn 1. Oh, that's Ben Trellier going off. Far side of the circuit, 13-14 area. And that was a moment or 2 ago, and that car is slow. It's not picked up speed. Trellier is in trouble. He's being passed by Romain Dumas, who was in 6th position, so that Audi is plummeting down the leaderboard. And that again was at the start of the lap, and he's slow, and he's into the pits. Well, this is very bad news for Audi in their chase for the Manufacturers' Championship. They've got the voltmeter out there. So is this something to do with the hybrid? Notice the rubber gloves by the mechanic.
The hybrid system, it looks as if the MGU, that means the motor generator unit, is broken. What we try to do now is to put the front axle drive out and try to run just with the propulsion engine so that we can collect some points, because the hybrid system we can't repair anymore.
Something about Fuji always gives us a great LMP2 battle. Will Stevens is ahead of this scrap for 2nd, as Gustavo Menezes on the left in the 36 Alpine is under attack here from Albuquerque in the dark red 43 car. Does the old over and under through turn 1. Looks like the 30 car's not that far behind either, in 4th position. One of our new young rookie drivers. Oh, magic stuff, but can they stay on the track? No, they can't. And here's a real chance. 3 cars together battling for 2nd and through. goes the ESM number 30 into third position and tries for second. Antonio Giovinazzi, really opportunist driving there. Now, can he hold on to it down the outside? Albuquerque goes down. Do you know, at the end of this lap, these positions look like they're going to be exactly the same, but my goodness, plenty of racing in the lap that we've seen. Here it is again, down the inside. That was at turn 10. And Albuquerque back into third position. Been a change for position for second, and that is the Toyota ahead of Mark Webber. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a cheer as they come through. A very, very late manoeuvre by the 6 car on Mark Webber. Well, the LMP2 battle just won't give up at the moment, and it's still Albuquerque and Menezes. Giovinazzi sitting in behind with the best seat in the house. Oh, then we've got the Manor and then Ryan DL. Little bit further back, that's second through to 6th. That green car is the 6th in this battle. My goodness, this is tight. Different lines through the corners. Giovinazzi, then the Manor. Very tight indeed in LMP2. Bruno Senna very happy with his teammate Philippe Albuquerque. Into the pits, Will Stevens, 13 seconds the lead. This is perhaps a little bit early, so maybe playing the strategy game right now. The Fords have been outstanding this week. So quick in every session, no real surprise that they're ahead. Perhaps the only thing that is a bit of a surprise is that Harry Tincknell has got ahead of the pole sitter Ollie Pla and is pulling away. Jimmy Bruni and Sam Bird are third and fourth. Oh, was there a little touch there? Yes, there was. Leader into the pits, Ollie Jarvis has done a great job for Audi from pole position, and the first roll of the tactical dice here is that he stays in the car for another go. Through goes Toyota to lead at Fuji. Now they've brought the second of the Toyotas in first. That makes sense, maybe having a look at the tyres for a little bit of wear. Now they're changing drivers, Nakajima out and Davidson in. Here is the Toyota number 6 out of the lead. Now we saw their teammates do a driver change, and it's a driver change here as well. That means Mark Webber will go through into the lead for Porsche. All 3 of the manufacturers have now led in the first hour of the Fuji 6 hours, round 7 of our championship. This is really important. Where will the Toyota come out? Mark Webber will probably pit at the end of this lap. Where's the Audi? There it is, on the right-hand side. Jarvis is going to not get by. He's not going to go through. Great work by Toyota Gazoo Racing. Now, this is so important. It's third at the moment, but the cars ahead have got to pit. So this is really for the leader. Oh, brilliant stuff. Jarvis knew he had to get that done really early in the lap before the tyres came up to temperature on the 6 car. That was brilliant. Brilliant driving by the Englishman. On cue, Mark Webber comes in, and again, it's a driver change here. He gets out. Timo Bernhard will be the next driver in the number 1 car. GTE Pro leader into the pits on cue. Absolutely routine. This will be a driver change. Tincknell out, Prio in. Louise Beckett down in the pit lane, talking to Harry.
It's a good track for us, you know, the long straight and the high-speed corners definitely suit our car. It's kind of similar to Mon, certainly the first 2 sectors. And you know, the boys have been working super hard on the pit stops as an all-round team. I think we've upped our game this weekend. And you know, it's super close out there. Still only 1-2 seconds between us, but you know, we're just going to keep pushing, and hopefully at the end of the race we can battle it out between us.
Oh, that's Khaled El Khabazi. Now, has he had problems coming out of the pits? He's facing the wrong direction. No. Oh, he's just misjudged his braking. That was Mike Wainwright in the other Porsche, the blue car there. Let's have a look from on board. The number... Oh, he's got it all locked up. Got it all locked up, and Mike Wainwright is unwitting bystander there. Is that a bit of flame on the right-hand side of the Bicolors racing car? Simon Trummer at the wheel. That is coming out of turn 2, heading towards turn 3. I'd say that car's got no engine at the moment. Paul Dallalana, the GT arm leader in the pits, he's staying in. So Pedro Lamy and Matthias Lauda will have to wait a little while longer. On a roll after their win in Austin, Texas, but never won here. Well, here's the pit lane speeding violation for the 30 car, and that was a stop and hold. It's a sliding scale. Richard Bradley clearly wasn't quite as quick. He's just got to drive through, but still broke the rules. It's not been a great weekend so far for the number 2 Porsche. Their drivers lead the championship, but they really just haven't been on form or on the pace. Let's find out what we can from Mark Lieb. Here's Louise Beckett.
We had an issue yesterday in qualifying, so we weren't qualifying up front, and it looks like we still have the same issue in the race, so the balance isn't very good of the car. We improved it a little bit with Neil, but we're still not there where we want to be, so we're really struggling today.
So close at the top of the field. Audi number 8 has already pitted, and here's the Toyota coming in. Their turn at the lead has only been a couple of laps. Porsche now will go through and lead again, just as we saw earlier on. Mike Conway getting out, Stefan Sarazan getting in to the Toyota. Now the Audi goes through, just at the bottom of the picture there. So not such a good stop by Toyota this time.
I reduced the gap and then had some trouble with traffic, extended again, and it kind of kept going on for the whole double stint. So the car's quite good. It seems to be getting a bit better every stint. So, but it's really tight. There's nothing between us some laps. So yeah, we just got to keep at it, keep pressure on them, and try and get in the lead.
This is so close at the head of the field. In comes the 1 car from the lead, but orders this pit stop. Hartley out, Mark Webber back in. They've gone through their drivers. Any little slip here, drop of a wheel nut is going to be costly. Number 2 car coming in, still a little bit off the pace. This will drop them back down to that 5th place. LMP2, 3rd position. And that's Richard Bradley in the 44, the red and white Manor car. Looking at him from the cockpit of Gustavo Menezes in the Signatech Alpine. Doesn't have to do anything too silly here, Gustavo. Remember, they are leading the championship, that blue car. But he wants to get up the road, maximise the championship points, coming through to the end of the lap. The tricky turn 16 here. Number of different lines, and you want to get out of it cleanly onto the start-finish straight, which Menezes does do. He's in the slipstream. Will go to the right, and Bradley blocks. Well, he's coming back over a little bit, trying to close the gap down into turn 1. That's okay. They're very close indeed. Bradley just opening the wheel out a little bit. Oh, airborne! Air Alpine for a moment there. Menezes won't like that. Tries to get down the inside at turn 3, but there's not enough room. Let's have another look here. Bradley defending on the inside. They were close, but there was no touch there. Menezes takes avoiding action, and watch the airborne moment. There it is. Wow! Oh, and even more aggressive from on board.
Take so much risk to overtake him. Don't take so much risk.
The first 3 hours have flown over. Audi, Toyota, Porsche have all led. The number 2 car still a little bit off the pace. It's Stracker Racing at the moment leading in LMP2 on the pit rotation. Ford are still ahead in GTE Pro. Again, pit stops going on there at the moment. And in GTE AM, it's Aston Martin Racing, the 98 car. They have been in charge all race so far. Every year the crowd here is enormous. And there's plenty to do if you're not trackside too.
いつもレース楽しみに毎年駆けつけてます。今年もトヨタさん頑張ってください。応援してます。
音がすごい大きい。ポルシェチームを応援してます。
ウェック最高です。面白いです。
So the Ferrari is in the lead, but Orzo's a pit stop. In fact, Sam Bird is in the pit lane now in the 71 AF Corsa car. So Nicky Team will go through in the Aston Martin. The 95 car won at Austin, and I just wonder if Aston Martin Racing are trying something a little bit tricky here, trying to get a little more fuel mileage out of that car. They haven't got the outright pace to challenge the Ferraris and the Fords wheel to wheel. Andy Priaulx in second position, but remember that 95 car needs a pit stop, so he will get the lead back. Leader is Luca Di Grassi. His lap times are pretty good. Let's hear what they're saying to him on the radio.
Lucas, if the rear is moving too much on exit, you can go up on PC rear. It's just on 10 and 11. When it turns left, I think the rear is very yours now. Yeah, copy.
Yes, they've tried to go hard on tires. They've cooled down with the traffic, tried to go hard on the tires.
So very different stories from Audi and Toyota on their tyre wear. Here's the number 6 then. Once again, the lead Audi has pitted already, so drops down. That means the Porsche is back in the lead. Same old story, but it is literally a game of seconds here, and the pit crews are doing their job. Another pit stop for Porsche. And here is the battle, and it is a real battle now as they go through. Where is the Porsche going to come out? Can't see it rolling yet. Down towards, there it is, on the right-hand side. Extraordinary stuff. 2 hours and 21 minutes to go, and that is the battle for first position. Audi, Toyota Gazoo Racing and Porsche, it's on. Now the battle for second is heating up. Traffic ahead. Sarrazin trying to use the Ford there as a little bit of a pick, but he can't keep Timo Bernhard behind. Well, qualifying results didn't lie, did they? It really is this close, and it's getting closer and closer as we get towards the end of the race. This one's really boiling up. And still they're fighting. Once again, a Ford is going to be in the way there. Sarrazin using that one. That's both of the Fords that have been a little bit of a help for Sarrazin. Gets that position. And now it's one of the Manor cars. Can he hold on? Timo Bernhard trying again. Looks left, looks right. 3 abreast coming onto the start-finish line. Who's got the instant power? Looks like it's the Porsche furthest away from us. And Timo goes through, immediately pulls in front. Sarrazin tries to get a little bit of a draft. Is he going to be there? He's drafting back. Not sure he's going to be quite close enough into turn 1. Give that one to Timo Bernhard. Brilliant stuff from these two. Brilliant.
Brake bias -1 click. Brake bias -1 click. Gap to P1 7 seconds, mate. Let's get that down. Yeah, copy. I did -2. I'm blocking front.
Well, it's all still to play for in LMP1 and also in the GTE Pro battle. Now the Ford here trying to get through for third position, just gets its nose ahead for a moment, but Nicky Team goes back. Now Nicky's on a different strategy from the Ford here, and he's still got pit stop to make, but he will try and hold that Ford up as much as he can. I don't think a win is on for Aston here, but they're actually trying to race the Ferraris and get between or ahead of them by some tricky strategy in the pits and going long on their fuel. But at the moment, this is a real battle for position, and Nicky Team's enjoying himself here. Pit lane for Alex Brundle. Great stint from him in the leading LMP2 car, the G-Drive. Looks like he is bailing out that famous helmet colour. He is out of the car. And that means that Senna will go through. Brundle and Senna, I think I might have heard that before on the odd occasion or two. Through goes the RGR Sport car, and Bruno Senna is back in the lead of LMP2. Our leader with the joys of all kinds of traffic here. So even if you're not battling for position, when you have 4 classes on the track at the same time, you're always battling. In from the lead, the number 1 Porsche 919 Hybrid. Timo will get out. All very cool, calm and collected. But there must be a lot of adrenaline going on. It is very close. Here's the Audi. This will be the Audi going back into the lead, will it? Yes, there's the second Porsche behind, but that owes us a pit stop. So there's the Toyota coming through. That's going to be tight between this car and the Toyota. And indeed, the Toyota has gone through into what is 3rd place at the moment, but that number 2 Porsche in 2nd, only on 4 stops, needs to make its 5th stop. So this really the battle for 2nd. As expected, here is Romain Dumas coming in. This will drop the car back down again. Must be really frustrating for these guys just not to have the pace today, but they're thinking championship, drivers' championship here. Neil Jani, the Swiss driver, installing himself. So now this is the battle for 2nd. Oh, very tight towards the pit wall. And through goes the number 1 Porsche. Now, can that Toyota fight back at the end of the pit lane? No, not quite. Down into turn 1. Is there a cutback on here? Oh, very close. Had to back out of it just for a moment. The Audi is just about 5 or 6 seconds up the road, and they're still at it. This is brilliant stuff. Just remarkable that we're so far into the race and they're still racing so hard. Our move of the race for Fuji is actually 2 passes. The Porsche goes through on pure power down towards turn 1. But if either of these cars are going to be able to challenge our leader at this point, the number 8 Audi, then they can't afford to lose ground. And if Toyota wanted any sniff of a win at their home track, then this pass had to be made, and had to be made right now. Oh, drama for the 3rd place 50 Labra competition Corvette in GTE Am. They've been running very strongly, but they're in the pit lane working at the back of the car. That doesn't look good.
Okay, look, how are you doing? Can you stay in for another stint? I'm okay, but it depends if I'm quick or not.
Like Duval playing the team game there, he is quick.
Look, you are by far our fastest driver. You are playing with my ego now. I'm not playing with you. It's 5 seconds to the Toyota and 8 seconds to the Porsche.
So this is just how quick Like Duval is, because that is the 2nd Porsche, the championship leading car with Neil Jani on board, and that is a full lap that has been put on that number 2 now by the leading Audi. That is significant. Oh, Olivier Pla spinning and almost picked up Brendan Hartley in the Porsche. That's how hard he's chasing Harry Tincknell, his teammate, for the win here for Ford. Just see him coming round, he's holding it. Here comes the Porsche over the top of the brow. Ooh, too close. That could have really ruined Brendan Hartley's day, couldn't it? Well, and Ollie Pla's, to be honest. So under an hour to go. And the race is still on. 5 hours of racing completed, less than 5 seconds between the top three. This is ridiculously close. Sun just falling alongside Mount Fuji. As into the pit lane comes our leader. Now this is just on the opening of their pit window to get to the end. They'll give up the lead here as through goes that number 6 Toyota. So this is again a tactical roll of the dice by Audi, taking their last pit stop as soon as they can, and they've got a brand new set of Michelin. See the shine on that tyre there. So it's the chase to the flag now for the 8 car. What will Toyota and Porsche do? Well, Toyota seem happy. What do they know that we don't?
And box this lap, press speed confirm, box this lap for fuel only.
So that means no tyres. Now that means the car will stand still less time in the pit lane, but remember the Audi's got brand new tyres, a little bit more grip. That's a balancing act and a gamble from Toyota. Brendan Hartley brings the number 1 Porsche in from the lead. Mark Webber will take the car to the checkered flag. Now how quick can they turn this car around? There's the 6 Toyota going through, and that is to the lead. Remember, they didn't take tyres, so where's the Audi? Can the Porsche come out in second place? It's going to be tight, is it? No, there's the Audi there on the right of screen. Mark Webber off the pit lane speed limiter and rejoins in third. Toyota take the lead at the last pit stop by taking no tyres.
Pit this lap for fuel only. Pit this lap for fuel only will be quite short.
So no new Dunlop tyres for this car. It will be fuel only and not even a full tank of fuel. That is a tactic that worked for Toyota at the front of the field. Can it work in LMP2 for RGR Sport? Watch back down the track. Not the green car, but the orange and black car. And yes, it has worked. Brilliant pit strategy. And they know they've done a great job. Albuquerque there in the centre of the picture. But this one is not over. The 43 car getting back up to speed. Will Stevens down the outside. He's gone around. He's in the pit lane. He was off the track there for a moment, surely with all 4 wheels off the line. Let's have another look. Yes, all 4 wheels are off the track there, but was he pushed there by Senna? I'm not sure. Certainly the team liked it. Roman Rusinov on the right loves it. Almost inevitable that that would be looked at by the stewards. All 4 wheels were across the line, but was he pushed there by Senna? Roman Rusinov thinks so.
Team manager, car 26, tell your driver to give the position back to car 43.
Well, a redress has been awarded. That means they have to go back to where they were. And there it is happening on the circuit at turn 5 into turn 6. 2 lights on the side of the 26 car. They're back in second place. Here's that battle for the lead in LMP2 again. And this time, Will Stevens makes sure it's absolutely clean. He's all 4 wheels on the circuit there and goes through, immediately defends down into turn 1. And that's clean. That will stand. Now, how hard will the 43 car fight? Oh, they don't look happy. Now, the guys are interacting between each other. They can see the same pictures as we can. Calm down, calm down. Well, this is Toyota, 2.5 minutes to go. They're looking worried. We've seen these pictures before. Surely not another Le Mans. Well, there's the answer. The gap has come down lap after lap. Loic Duval using those new Michelin tyres brilliantly. Kamui Kobayashi is going to have to defend for his life now. Down the front straight, traffic playing a part. Going one way, then the other. It's under 2 seconds as we start the last lap. 6 hours of racing. All that effort, all that concentration, and it comes down to this. Kobayashi with a little bit of clear track. He'll breathe a sigh of relief. Loic Duval, well, that confidence the team put in him, totally repaid now. There's still a chance here for Audi to take that elusive victory. They don't know. Neither camp knows which way it's going to go. And more traffic ahead. Surely Toyota are not going to be robbed of a win on their home ground. Ollie Jarvis doesn't think so. It's too late, he thinks. Kobayashi's got more traffic though on the final corner, and it's a long sprint to the line. Duval will get a better run, but Kobayashi comes out to the right-hand side, and Toyota will win the 6 hours of Fuji. What a race! It's the closest winning margin in WEC history, and those fans know how significant it is, and so do the teams. Bad luck again for Audi, but joy unabounding for Toyota.
Yeah, awesome drive, Camry. Awesome drive. Well done. Well done. Amazing. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And it was very great to be here. And of course, I think winning race, it's hard, but I think we did our best. And thank you very much. Too quick. Of course, in the Le Mans, it's for us, it's really hard. But at least we want to win our home race. And we are really confident to after qualify to win today.
And just as close a fight in LMP2, Will Stevens and Roman Rusanov doing their bit, and a fabulous middle stint for the 26G drive by Alex Brundle.
When you think that scenario had been setting up for 6 hours and there'd been that much to choose between us over that period of time, it's frankly incredible. You know, hats off to the number 43. They were excellent today, but biggest hats off to the G Drive by Joe Sport team.
Finally, the first victory of the season for a team that's dominated qualifying. G Drive take the top step of the podium in LMP2. GTE Pro Andy Prior and Harry Tinknell bring home the first FIA WEC victory for the Ford Chip Ganassi Team UK.
The team were amazing with their pit stops today. You've got to remember this team's only 6-7 months old, and to come to this stage to win a race in pure racing like that is really tough.
Important third position for Ferrari in LMGT Pro. They take the lead in the Manufacturers' Championship, but this 6 hours has been all about Ford, first and second. In GTE AM, back-to-back victories for the 98 Aston Martin crew, Matthias Lauda, Pedro Lamy and Paul Dalla Lana.
We got it done. We haven't won here before. It's been a couple second steps so far, so it's great to be on the top step finally.
The Fuji jinx broken for Paul Dalla Lana and his teammates. KCMG third, EF Corsa second. In LMP1, the relief at Toyota obvious. For Rebellion, they take the P1 Privateers title. For the first time since 2014, Toyota Gazoo Racing are on the top step of the podium. A full 6 hours of racing, separated at the end by just a second and a half. Toyota really earned that victory. LMP2 going to G Drive, Ford dominating GTE Pro, with Aston Martin's number 98 winning GTE AM. And now we move from the land of the rising sun to Shanghai, China.
A red dragon is dancing and jumping. A place where grandstands are skyscrapers and corners looking like snakes.
Oh, he's lost it again!
World Endurance Championship, international event.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
In the mood for racing.
And he's gone round, and he's in the middle of the track.
Stronger. Faster.
Six Hours of Shanghai on 5th and 6th November. The spirit of Le Mans is coming to Shanghai. Follow us on social media